I mentioned the Mount Rushmore of weather, and Tom Skilling would go, "Oh, no, put Paul there." But Tom Skilling and Paul Douglas, they're your goats right there.
That's right.
Paul Douglas joins us now, ensconced. Look at you all ensconced before this Snowmageddon.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Before
Good
the
morning.
Snowmageddon event. Hey, real quickly, and I only need 30 seconds from you on this, okay? You know Music Radio WLS in the heyday of the 70s and 80s with Lujack and Landecker and all those guys.
Yeah.
This is the 100th anniversary of WLS in 2024. What would you like to say about your memory of the Big 89 WLS?
I grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Amish country, and my favorite station that I could hear at night because of Skip was WLS. But I would listen at times during the day when conditions permitted, and it got me excited about radio. It's one of the reasons why I started doing weather on radio in high school, because of just the fun that Larry had with his morning crew and, the great music throughout the day. So it was a big factor in me deciding to go into the media. And I know people listen, I'm sure, from all around the world today via the app and via streaming. But back in the 60s and 70s, I was smitten, and WLS was my go-to station. So yeah, it's humbling to be able to be on WLS today. So I take nothing for granted the older I get. Great station, great staying power, and
I believe you can sing the jingle. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Paul.
Music Radio, WLS.
Turns out I was wrong. You can't sing the jingle.
Okay, I got to work on that.
I remember, too, by the way.
I give him an A.
He was a big Landecker fan, and I remember for a long time you took a lot of heat because you ripped off Boogie Check with Barometer Check when you were doing the weather.
Barometer Check. Yeah, it never took off.
Didn't take off. All right, so we only got a few minutes here. 8 to 12, when does it start for us, and when do we get them out from the cold? Next week? Next month?
Well, I think by the end of January we'll see some 30s. But no question, we're heading into an Arctic spell starting this weekend, going into next week. I think next week may be one of the 2 or 3 coldest weeks of the entire winter for Chicagoland. It's definitely going to be cold, and along the leading edge of this Arctic punch, an old-fashioned blizzard, and I think it will, in fact, be upgraded to a blizzard by tomorrow night into Saturday. No problems today. Run out, get your milk and bread and eggs today. Tomorrow, the snow starts up in the morning. It gets heavier as the day goes on. Now, it's going to be in the low, maybe mid-30s tomorrow, so it'll be a wet, slushy, heavy wet snow. And then tomorrow night, as winds turn more to the north-northeast, temperatures plummet into the teens, and it's going to become a dry, powdery snow, more prone to blowing and drifting Friday night, Saturday morning, gradually tapering Saturday afternoon, but the winds will be gusting 30, 40 miles an hour. Definition of a blizzard, winds over 35, visibility's under a quarter mile. I think many spots will have that tomorrow night into Saturday morning. By Sunday, conditions begin to improve as the winds ease up. But I'm thinking, many spots, 10 to 12, maybe a little more than that to the north towards Waukegan and Milwaukee. We're under a winter storm watch. That will almost certainly be upgraded to a winter storm warning by tomorrow morning. And I wouldn't be shocked, Steve and Andrea, if it's upgraded to a blizzard warning for parts of the area by Saturday morning.
Aren't you fun?
It's the real deal.
Aren't you fun?
What makes it the blizzard? Is it the snow totals, the wind, or the drift? Is it all of the above?
Yes.
And the low visibility?
All of the above.
Okay.
When you don't get it, Andrea, with a heavy wet snow, but if it's a dry, powdery snow with temperatures in the teens, which is what we'll have by Saturday, that's when it blows around. The dry, powdery, fluffy snow. The snow globe snow, and it is going to look like a snow globe out there Friday night into Saturday morning. So you're right. It's the combination, strong, steady winds, 35 miles an hour or higher, and visibility under a quarter mile for at least 3 hours, that technically meets the definition of a blizzard. I think we will have that for much of the area tomorrow night into at least midday Saturday. If your plans allow, I'm sure we'll be accused of hype. It's hype until it happens. Then it's, hey, why didn't you tell me it was going to be this bad?
Right.
But I think, I wouldn't want to be driving around on Saturday. I wouldn't. If you can wait till Sunday, certainly for a road trip, I would definitely wait until Sunday. If you can't get out today or first thing tomorrow morning, I would wait until Sunday. I don't think you're going to want to be on the Skyway Tollway, tomorrow night into Saturday morning. It's going to be rough out there.
He makes a great point. This is the weekend when I have my annual Skyway campout.
Well, I got to cancel my haircut now on Saturday.
Oh boy, Paul Douglas. These things, I know this. Me being the weatherman from Grumpy Old Men, you being the weatherman. When does this? The start is covered, but the path of destruction. You say it comes in tomorrow night, so we miss rush hour?
I think rush hour tomorrow morning is going to be okay. It'll just be starting up. I think rush hour tomorrow evening
that'll be a problem.
Be a white-knuckle slog. And there's not going to be much snow down around Bloomington, downstate, Champaign, Decatur, Lafayette, Indiana, maybe a couple of inches. So a pretty sharp cutoff. The farther north you go, away from Chicago, I think the heavier the amounts may be. The one wild card, no ice on Lake Michigan, and I think that will actually enhance the lake effect on the tail end of this storm, Saturday night. The snow belts downwind of Michigan are going to see enhanced amounts. That means, northwest Indiana into South Bend will see additional snow right into Saturday night. So it's going to get increasingly rough as the day goes on tomorrow. People will get around because it's going to be sloppy, wet snow. And then tomorrow night is when it becomes heavier and the temperatures plummet. It becomes a powdery snow. It starts to blow and drift. And, all that wet snow, I think we're going to have snow on top of ice, which is sort of the worst combination. As everything freezes up, it's going to be single digits by Saturday with wind chills below zero. So, yeah, a 1, 2, 3 punch. Hey, it's January. It's supposed to snow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I know you got 10 seconds here. Is this going to be as bad as Texter wants to know? Is this going to be as bad as the storm that was predicted on Tuesday? It got ugly, but not as ugly as it could have been.
I think it's going to be worse. Yes,
excellent. Good news.
Because it's going to be a colder storm. And the models have been pretty consistent, zeroing in on northern Illinois, far northern Indiana. I think it's going to be worse. I hope I'm wrong, but we shall see.
I've never known you to be wrong. Another texter said, who's getting milk and bread? I'm getting vodka and frozen pizza.
Yes.
Breakfast of champions.
That's from 815. Thank you, Paul Douglas.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, you too. Be safe.
See you later.
You too, Paul. He's the best.
He's really good. He's really, really good. And that's the first time he's ever been on the air anywhere, right there. No. Former Channel 2 meteorologist, Weather Nation guy, the guy that invented most of the weather toys you see the weather people use around the country and on the networks. Paul invented those.
The weather vane?
Including the rooster. Some people came in and said, what if we go with a sheep? He said, nah, it's got to be a rooster. Yeah. I mean, that's how good he is.